Makran Jadov back there. He was formerly with Baker Halliburton, an oil service company. He's also Albert too. He's been a product manager on some global production lines. So Stratametis, our little logo really is leave the processing to us, so then you can focus on your business. So for the first thing today, I want to tell you to focus on one specific number. That number is 48. Hold that number in your mind. Does anyone know why 48 is significant? That's today's crude oil price per barrel. That's today's price. And it's been holding steady for the past 30 to 60 days. The lowest point in which crude oil has been since the downturn was 28. That was in February 2016. So if you can actually pull it up on your laptops or your cell phones, crude oil price was at the peak back in 2008, and it hit peak oil at about $100 a barrel. Then it started to decline. But then the recent trend is that there's an increase. So whatever happened in the 80s with the Middle Eastern countries holding the price steady, supply is low, and then so the demand increases, then it rises back up. It's no longer the situation. The situation now is that there is new entries into the market, and those include other countries and also to the United States, who's primarily still an importing country, who's recently adopted policies to export crude. Now, why is that important for this country? It's important because we still have about 78 billion cubic barrels still left in reserves of tight oil that we haven't harvested. China's still there, and also Argentina is a high competitor at 32 and also 68. So what's happening is when you're evaluating data is that there is a lot of data for drilling. So when you're drilling, it's about a 50% accuracy rate, specifically for conventional oil drillers. When they're drilling, what they have is a large pad site. So the pad site is about the size of, say, the seat that you're sitting in the county, which is Travis County, about 1,000 square miles. On a pad site like that, you can gather about 20 terabytes of information. For those who are not in data analytics, 20 terabytes is about the whole collection of the Library of Congress in the United States, which is the largest library in the world. And if you line up all its collection from El Paso, Texas to Shreveport, Louisiana, that is only 15 terabytes. So just for Travis County, we're collecting 20 terabytes of information. So why is that important? That leads to the next question. It's because when you're evaluating this kind of data, only few specific key skill sets can evaluate this information. That includes geophysicists, geologists, data analysts, and also database administrators. To be able to evaluate this information, oil and exploration companies are taking this information physically from the well site while the rig is there and the site hands are there, costing about $100,000 to $200,000 a day, waiting for the information to be downloaded on a hard drive and then taken back to an offsite location to evaluate the information. Now, from the market study we had done, for one of the large oil companies, one of the big six, they had estimated for one team about 50 people. So when you aggregate 50 of these salaries, it's about $300,000 to $500,000 a year at a minimum to evaluate the site. Now, because it's a manual queued process for 20 terabytes for one site, it can take sometimes weeks to maybe even months to get the information. Now, with the price this low, the information we've been taught since we were young is always buy low and sell high, correct? So you want to have these reserves. So now conventional oil drillers are trying to improve their processes from the beginning to the end to improve accuracy and process the information faster. So Stratametis is bringing a new solution through the platform on Spark to process the information faster and also more accurate because it's a self-learning capability, and it's through a platform which is in the cloud, so they can do it on site without downloading this information and sending it back to maybe an offsite facility in Houston, Texas, which is usually how it's done in this production chain. So instead of months or weeks, we've reduced that into a matter of hours to get accurate information to make a business decision very quickly about where we're going to drill and how we're going to drill.
So we're talking about our solution here, and we're talking about using the latest data analytics technique, which is about using Hadoop and Spark. And we're just providing researchers and scientists to get it easier to use and also faster. So how does this go? Actually, we only use 3 steps, kind of like trying to make it 1, 2, 3. First of all, log in through the web, on site, set up the workflow, input the algorithm, run it, and make your decision. Everything is based on one computer. All of the algorithm, all of the processing is used on cloud or on premise. So when we're talking about our technology, we talk about our business model here. So we have three revenue. So we're gonna put an implementation in their server, and also provide them consulting and training service and do the maintenance. And our business model, the first year will be shown like this. We'll be spending like more than around 40% on our sales and marketing. And our target is 500 plus employees of companies of US-based oilfield service. And they have a drilling exploration business owners. And also they have existing server infrastructure. Why would we choose this? Because we know that oil and gas industry is pretty controversial. And also so that they don't want any information to be leaked out. So these companies, they have better infrastructure, they could provide a better security. And we don't need to like give them an additional service for cloud. And they don't need to have also like worry about any information. So this is our product roadmap. We estimate that this product could be released next year in 2017. And our beta version will come out at Q1, and our customer could try it on Q2, and also our product could be released on Q3. So, talking about the existing competition now, we listed out several companies we researched about. Machine learning, because we are a pretty early. We went into this pretty early, so. For existing machine learning part, we are kind of like around Teradata and IBM. And for seismic interpretation, because so far in the existing industry, we can't find a similar competitors now based on our research. So this is our management team. Our team has Lisa here, which has more than 13 years experience in railroad commission. We have Anderson Santos, which has a really good contact in the industry. He has worked with BNC and HP. We have a senior vice president of operation which worked in Dell before for more than 15 years. I'm Albert, and MJ back in there worked for Baker Hughes for more than 12 years. Thank you. This is our presentation. Any questions?
Say one more time what the machine learning.
So as you load more data, it actually aggregates the information. You develop algorithms that you can basically drag and drop your images, and then it visualizes the layers below ground. And then the new visualization aspect of this platform actually shows you time elapsed of the harvesting of the underground surfaces. For some of those who don't know about hydrocarbon harvesting, it's not you drill down and you see a river full of hydrocarbon. It's rocks. You have to go through some of the rock and determine as to what are the sonographs are coming back in, the images, and how deep are they. And not all the areas will actually be tight pocket. That's what they mean by tight oil.
Sparks about processing power. Usually the conversation on that scale of data is about upload times, even inside the cloud between places. How do you handle that?
So this is why we're targeting the companies with 500 plus employees, because with the trend, we study not just the oil and gas technology, we're studying also the market trend. The companies who will survive this downturn are going to be the big operators.
Do they have
They have solutions now, right?
On the bad side?
No, they're downloading information and actually subcontracting specific companies like Paradigm in Houston. And they physically evaluate the data and then take the information back to site and say, go, drill. So now it puts the power back into the companies who can evaluate the information immediately.
So there are terabytes of data being uploaded to the cloud or not?
So that infrastructure is something we will have to discuss with the companies as we move forward as to whether they can support this information, because part of it is also going to be behind their firewall, so there's not the security risk of transferring the information to other suppliers.
So the value you're delivering to the companies is just faster, or they have more control over the data?
You have more control of your data because now you can deploy your business analysts and also your geoscientists for the full production process and evaluation.
So what are you doing different than the
We actually are using Spark specifically identifying for seismic images. There's no other competitors just evaluating seismic images.
So, in full disclosure, when we met like a month ago, you said you were killing the project. So, does this mean that now in a reconsideration as far as this program to see whether you keep the effort?
Yes. So when we had done the competition, it was across the board on the panel. They had agreed that this is a problem. You could actually solve the data analytics problem. The companies will want this. But the situation is, like we've discussed, there's a difference between conventional and non-conventional. So we're looking for the further breakdown of the market size in that.
The next part of my question, remember I had told you then that I had forwarded your summary at the time. I read to four of my geophysicists, and they all had very serious doubts whether this makes sense. But some of the assumptions you're listing at the beginning, like the 40% and this and that, don't make any sense to people who are in the industry. So this is something you definitely need to revise. And I was knocked down by the competition and competitive position charts where you have Mahana, IBM. These are all companies that have nothing to do with what you guys are doing. So when you put in front of an audience, not this audience, but an audience in your industry that knows those companies, you need to be very careful because it kills your credibility instantly if these things don't make sense.
Okay, thank you.
3 minutes.
This is more of a comment. I may have been remiss, but I think I've seen them all so far. I mean, this is the only one where I've actually seen who the CEO is. And I would just say as a comment to everyone else, everyone wants to know who the CEO is. You got 4 founders. I don't want to see 4 faces without knowing who the CEO is, because that person is the person having the most interaction with investors. So I want to know who that person is. So just as a note to everyone else, I appreciate that it's there, just so I know, as opposed to just seeing them.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take